But when I tell you social media is amplifying the divide between black men and black women, pages like Justin LA Boy, pages like Spiritual World, who take the most toxic messages from Twitter and all other platforms, put them in one space that are purposely perpetuating narratives that we really aren't interacting with in the real world. You go on a date, you're not having these conversations, but you go on social media and these conversations are constantly repeated, and none of it is solution focused. It's all what they do, what's not being done, and it's not productive. It's not pushing us forward, and what's happening is we are internalizing a lot of trauma that does not belong to us. So
say it again.
So we are internalizing a lot of relationship trauma that does not belong to us. So let's say for me personally, right, I've never been cheated on, but let's say I go and I follow a bunch of women who talk about the fact that, oh, I've been cheated on, all these niggas cheat, they steady cheating. I'm going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, they all cheat. That's all they do. And I'm not self-aware enough to really understand that that's not even that's not my baggage. That's somebody else's baggage. So one thing we really have to do is learn how to detach from some of these messages that we are constantly internalizing.
So I saw this, interestingly enough, it's so funny because, you know, she did mention Spiritual World, but that's exactly where I saw this post when I was scrolling on social media. And, you know, so this woman is obviously saying that she feels that social media has caused a division between black men and black women because it is, you know, taking all of the foolishness that people spew out on other places like on Twitter and putting them all on Instagram for everybody to see, and that, you know, it's not solution based. It's just exposing what's out there, just leading to all these conversations, and that these are not the things that happen in the real world. And I'm going to be honest with you, though I can understand her sentiments and where she's coming from, I have to 100% say that I do not agree. I do not agree. And the reason why I don't agree is because, you know, from what I've seen, well, first let me say this. If they're taking comments off of Twitter and other places like maybe, you know, TikTok or whatever, and bringing it all on Instagram, the same people who are on Twitter who are talking about and saying all these things are the same people who are on Instagram, same people who are on TikTok, same people who are in the real world. What I find is that there has always been, you know, propaganda to cause a division between men and women. The only reason why I personally feel that a lot of women have a hard time with it is because now that we're in a space that it's about holding women accountable. Women talking about, oh, you know, this is too amplified. This is too much. You know, this is the reason why we divided now. And they're not looking at their actual behaviors that are causing the division in the first place. Because in hair salons, in nail salons, in barber shops, you know, wherever the case, there has always been these kinds of conversations about men, women who cook, who clean, who this, who that. There has always been these kind of conversations. My point is that I believe that a lot of women have a problem with being held accountable. And so they don't like the continuation of all of these conversations because a lot of women keep getting exposed for their mindsets, their belief systems, their ways of thinking, and they wanted to keep that on the hush. Because if we want to talk about internalizing trauma or internalizing problems that has nothing to do with you, we can go all the way back to the movie The Color Purple. Women have men up, now just for that movie, not from anything they experienced or saw within their own family. I can name a list of movies that have diminished the character of the man, that have acted like all men do this, men ain't good, men ain't this, men ain't like. There's a plethora of information that women watch on a daily basis and internalize. And it's not just on social media. It's on TV. It's on movies. What you don't see in all of those spaces is anybody holding women accountable for their part to play within the division. That's my opinion. I don't see many movies. I think maybe one movie that I ever saw was Precious. And I don't even think I saw the movie. I think I just saw the trailer. But just for example, that was one movie where you could see a woman doing wrong. You know, you might have a couple here and there, but it is not, the noise is not amplified like it is against men being low down, dirty, don't take care of their kids, gonna cheat on you, mischievous, users, this, players. That's always been out there. That's always been spoken about. Women have always been internalizing other women's trauma. One thing that I thought was very interesting was that, you know, she said that, you know, this is not real life. This is not the stuff that we really talk about on dates. And I think that is something that you should. I think that's a problem. I think that should be a part of the vetting process. What do you think about this? Maybe you go on a date. Maybe you show a certain post that you have a strong opinion about. Maybe you show that to the person that you're on a date with and just see their point of view. Maybe that would assist in like-minded people finding each other. That way, if you are on the side of feminism and decentering men and that women should be above men, that you can align with the right people who believe that. And if you are on the side of male leadership and a woman being submissive, that you can align with people who have that mindset based off of these conversations. Again, I think it's just it's exposing how people really think, how people really feel. Again, I think that the main reason why women are always the ones in the comments talking about throw the mics away. You know, we need to stop talking about this stuff is because they do not like being on front street. We already know this. Accountable, say sorry, apologize, expose the things that I'm doing wrong. I don't want to talk about that. That's real. This has always been what it is. I like seeing these things on social media, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, I don't like when certain things go too far or whatever the case, but when I say that is that I like when people are voicing their point of views. Sometimes it has been even hurtful to me. There's been some people that, you know, are maybe even art, like musicians or, you know, activists or whoever that I love so dearly. And when they post about certain things in these areas, you know, as soon as I see some kind of, you know, decentering men and feminism, anything I see like that, I'm unfollowing you. I'm going to be honest with you, because it lets me know that a lot of because people don't understand how important it is to know how you think and how you feel and how it is related to other things. Because if you are somebody who is giving relationship advice, I'm just using this for an example, and you are talking about, you know, marriages and the importance of men and women being together and this and that, and then you are posting or reposting stuff on your story talking about decentering men, talking about feminism, talking about, you know, smash the patriarchy, talking about certain things, then how can your advice in other aspects of the relationship or family sector, how can I know that you're not looking at it through a tainted vision? How can I know that? I can't know that. I think it's important to know what people are really thinking and how people really feel about these things. Even if they're the most, you know, obtuse conversations, I think it's important to know where people stand. That's just my point of view. That's my personal opinion. Another thing that she said is that, you know, this is it's caused the division between black men and black women, but it's just actually just men and women in general. Because the same feminism that was introduced to black women has been going on for, you know, a very long time. So there's been that divide. It's not just black men and black women. It's all women and all men, because all the women are together supporting each other against the men. Now, do I understand? No, this is what I'm going to say, because she didn't say this, but I'm going to say my opinion. I don't know. I didn't watch this whole thing. I just watched this clip that you guys see here. I don't know if she said it when she was explaining. I don't know. What I'm going to say is, I understand that there are people who listen to certain ideas or conversations and take it and paint with a broad brush. They take it and run with it. There are people who will say all single mothers are horrible. Whereas I do not believe that all single mothers are created equally. There's a lot of different reasons why a woman can be a single mother. Some of them have lost their husbands. So some people would just say all single mothers are bad. All of them are this and all of that. No, I don't agree. So do I think that people take certain situations and, like I said, paint with a very broad brush because they're just going off of what somebody else is saying and not their own experiences or their own level of understandings? Yes, I do believe that. But I think that you find that in any space. Anybody watching anything. That's my opinion. Again, that's my opinion. So do I understand? Can I understand what she's saying? Yes. Do I agree? Not necessarily. I don't believe that it has caused the division. I don't even necessarily believe that it has amplified the division. I believe that it has exposed women. And that's why I believe that women have the problem with it. That's my opinion. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.